When the invitation arrived, it felt heavier than the illness slowly consuming her body. Maya stared at the elegant cream envelope on the small wooden table beside her hospital bed. Her fingers trembled as she opened it, not because of weakness alone, but because she already knew who it was from. The handwriting was sharp, confident, unchanged after all these years. Adrian Keller, her ex-husband, the man who had once sworn to love her forever, the man who had walked away the moment her cancer diagnosis threatened his perfect life. The invitation wasn't just for the wedding. It was a command. Maya, it would be poetic if you sang at my wedding. After all, your voice is the only valuable thing you still have. Don't disappoint me. Her chest tightened. The machines beside her beeped steadily, indifferent to the storm raging inside her. Doctors had given her 6 months at most. Chemotherapy had thinned her hair, hollowed her cheeks, and drained her strength, but not her dignity. Adrian knew she was dying, and that was precisely why he wanted her there. Years ago, Maya had been a rising singer, soft, soulful, the kind of voice that could make silence cry. Adrian had loved introducing her as my talented wife. But when her diagnosis came, the love vanished. He said he couldn't watch her waste away. He said he needed a woman who could give him children. He said many things that still echoed in her nightmares. He divorced her while she lay in a hospital bed. Now, he was marrying a younger woman, beautiful, healthy, glowing with life. And he wanted Maya to sing, not out of respect, but cruelty, to mock her frailty, to prove he had won. Maya folded the letter slowly, tears slipping down her pale face. Her nurse, Clara, noticed and gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "You don't have to go," Clara whispered. Maya smiled weakly. "I do." "Why?" "Because if I don't," Maya said softly, "he'll think he broke me." And he hadn't. Not yet. That night, Maya lay awake, staring at the ceiling. Memories flooded her mind. The small apartment she and Adrian had shared. The nights she sang while he listened with pride. The promises whispered in the dark. She had lost her marriage. She was losing her life. But she had not lost her voice. And if Adrian wanted a performance, she would give him one. The wedding hall glittered like a palace of excess, crystal chandeliers, white roses imported from another country, silk curtains flowing like wealth itself. Laughter echoed through the air, rich and careless. Maya arrived quietly. She wore a simple blue dress that hid her frail body, her head wrapped in a soft scarf. Her steps were slow, measured. Every breath was a reminder of how little time she had left. Conversations stopped. Whispers followed her like shadows. "That's her. Adrian's ex-wife. The one with cancer." Adrian noticed her instantly. His lips curved into a satisfied smile. She looked exactly how he wanted. Thin, pale, fragile. Proof that leaving her had been the right choice. "You came," he said, approaching her with false politeness. "I was worried you wouldn't survive long enough." Maya met his eyes calmly. "I'm still here." "For now," he replied. He gestured toward the stage where a microphone stood waiting. "You'll sing after the vows. Something emotional. People love tragedy." Maya nodded without protest. Across the room, the bride, Lena, watched with curiosity. She had heard stories of Maya, but none mentioned cruelty. She didn't know this was meant to humiliate a dying woman. As guests took their seats, Maya sat alone near the front. Her hands were cold. Her heart pounded. She wasn't afraid of singing. She was afraid of collapsing. But then she remembered the nights. She sang in hospital rooms for children who wouldn't make it. She remembered the strangers who cried and thanked her for making them feel alive. This wasn't Adrian's stage. It was hers. The ceremony ended with applause. Champagne glasses clinked. Then Adrian stood, tapping his glass. "And now," he announced proudly, "a special performance by my ex-wife, a woman who once dreamed of greatness." Laughter rippled through the room. Maya stood. Every step toward the stage felt like walking through fire. Her vision blurred. But when she reached the microphone, silence fell. She adjusted it slowly, inhaled deeply, and closed her eyes. The pianist began to play. And then she sang. The first note was soft, trembling, like a fragile heartbeat. Then her voice rose. Clear, pure, unbroken. It filled the hall with a sorrow so beautiful it hurt. She sang of love that didn't run, of promises kept even when bodies failed, of pain that didn't erase worth. Her voice carried the weight of hospital nights, of needles and fear, of abandonment, and still, it carried hope. Guests stopped breathing. Tears streamed down faces that had never known her story. The bride's smile faded, replaced by confusion. Then guilt. Adrian's confidence wavered. This wasn't the weak woman he remembered. This was strength. Maya's voice grew stronger, soaring higher than anyone expected from a dying body. Every word felt like a farewell and a blessing at the same time. Halfway through the song, Maya opened her eyes and looked directly at Adrian. And she smiled. Not with bitterness. With peace. The final note lingered in the air like a prayer. Silence. Then someone began to cry. Then another. Applause erupted, not polite, but thunderous. Guests stood to their feet, clapping, sobbing, overwhelmed. The bride wiped her eyes. Adrian, she whispered, why didn't you tell me she was dying? He said nothing. Maya leaned into the microphone one last time. This song, she said softly, is for anyone who's been left behind when they needed love the most. You are still worthy. Always. She stepped away and collapsed. Chaos followed. Doctors rushed in. Guests gasped. The bride dropped to her knees beside Maya, holding her hand. She's burning up, someone said. Adrian stood frozen. For the first time, fear replaced his arrogance. At the hospital, doctors worked urgently. Maya slipped in and out of consciousness, her song still echoing in her mind. News of the wedding performance spread quickly. Videos went viral. Headlines read, dying woman forced to sing at ex-husband's wedding, her voice leaves millions in tears. Donations poured into cancer foundations in her name. Adrian's company began losing sponsors. People didn't forgive cruelty. Lena visited Maya daily. I didn't know, she cried. If I had. Maya squeezed her hand weakly. Love him better than he loved me, she whispered. Adrian came once. He stood at the doorway, unable to step closer. I didn't think, he began. Maya turned her head away. Some apologies arrived too late. Maya passed away 3 weeks later. Peacefully. Her funeral was filled with strangers who said her song gave them courage. Children sang softly in her honor. Clara cried harder than anyone. Adrian watched from afar, alone. He had won nothing. Maya's song was released posthumously. Proceeds funded free music therapy for terminal patients. Her voice lived on. And somewhere beyond pain, Maya finally rested, knowing she was never broken, never small, and never silenced.